theatre. She's now going to tell you all about the Queen's 2000.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I wish we called that because I was putting it on the projector.
But we've got to leave now, the funeral's starting.
Are we sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you to Ron for inviting me. An introduction from Norman.
Yeah, go on, got the ball out there,
Ron,
Ron.
looking after me today. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, I'm from the Queen's Theatre. I've been in professional theatre all my life, but I have also produced theatre. I've always produced and hopefully given opportunities to other people to perform on stage, and that gives me as much pleasure as it does singing soprano to anybody who cares to listen. One of the things the Queen's Theatre has taught me is community. And when you're a performer, you are just trained to be very focused. This is what you do. What the Queen's has taught me is that particular building is unique in this country. I've toured every theatre in the land. I toured at Danny LaRue for a very long time and in musicals. And I have to say, the Queen's Theatre is the heart of the community that I've grown to know and love over the last 6 years. I've been here for 6 years. We, I think, house community events. We also produce professional theatre. And in 2013, as mentioned, we will have a professional producing theatre for 60 years. It's an amazing achievement for anyone, actually, to produce theatre for any amount of time, with the subsidy we get or don't get, and with the funds that we have to raise for that. We also have to really make sure that our public know that we are a charity. People don't realise that we're a charity. They think we're a very thriving, healthy theatre, which we are, thank you to our subscribers and to the people in our audience. But we have to really make sure that that charity is recognised. It's recognised because it is there for the community. And the reason I'm banging on about that, did anyone see this fantastic production last year? Down the river and up the road.
No.
It was written by a local guy, Dave Ross and Jerry Sweeney. I don't know if you know those guys. And this project mapped the history of people from the East End coming into Hornchurch, Upminster and the regions. And the project was funded by Heritage Lottery. And what they did, they went out and got oral histories from people. They got all the transcribed histories and put them into the form of a play. And it was to basically share that knowledge with the public, with school children, and to celebrate the heritage of where we are. In 2013, we will be 60, and we're going to be leading up to that birthday with a project, hopefully with a Heritage Lottery Fund, if we can get enough support from the local community and local organisations. So part of the oral histories we're going to collect will be about the years 1931 to 53. And that's when the Queen's Theatre opened and Station Lane. And we're going to be talking to the people that made those decisions, people that remember who made those decisions, and why the Hornchurch Council decided to build this professional producing theatre. Once we've got those oral histories, we're going to make another play. And it's not quite in production yet, because the Heritage Lottery won't fund you until, once they've decided you're getting the money, then you can go ahead. What we would like to do is gather support, gather letters of support from established communities, from organisations such as the Rotary, to help us move this project on, and to help the young people and the people of the community put this project together. This will come and happen next year in July 2012. So we're going to build this project from this year all the way through and celebrate the Jubilee and the Queen's Theatre being 60 in 2013. So what I'd like to do is show you the DVD of the last project, because I think that's the best way. You'll get it from the horse's mouth, you'll get it from the people that were involved in this project. And hopefully you'll see how many different people it will touch in this community. Didn't check the sound watch, that's the other one. Be in the play or be backstage, because not everybody wants to be like me and on stage. People like to help backstage as well. Pardon? All amateurs, yeah, everybody is amateur. The only professionals are the people that do the scenery, they'll design the set, will direct it professionally. So they get guidance and they get a really good experience. Yeah, so they were going to go on a cruise if they didn't get in the play, and they ended up in the play, so no cruise for them. This is the rehearsal performance and go. They're involved from the very beginning all the way through. And it's quite an intense week. They have technical rehearsals with our creative staff and our professional staff at the theatre. So they all get a true idea of what it's like to be in the theatre whilst learning something. So that's what these projects are aimed at. So our next project, as I say, will be celebrating the birth of the theatre in 1953. And obviously we can't touch on every day until the present time. So once the oral histories have been taken, and people will be asking everybody to come and give their representation of how they felt at a certain time, or what they heard even from their parents and their parents before them. Everyone will be invited to be involved as a participant. Heritage Lottery, I'll be applying to them in about 2 weeks' time, and the whole project should cost £50,000. They would like to see us raise £5,000 locally, whether it be from one or several organisations, and have letters of support. So if the Rotary would like to be involved with us in any way, I would be really, really happy to talk about it. It's about the community. I'm very grateful for you to listen to me today. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions? Jim?
You said 1953, that doesn't quite gel with my memory, because actually I lived in Station Road where the original Queen's Theatre was.
Right.
They did it actually open, I don't think it was 53.
Oh. My nose is a bit more. No, the one in the 70s,
Yeah, but I think it was later than 53.
September 1953. I'm going to stay over here so you can
The new one
the one in
you have now?
now, 75.
75.
75.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yes.
Right, I'm just asking. It's a question.
It's a question, yes.
Still
Thank
not
you.
right.
Always one, isn't it?
You always won. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, and I don't know that.
There was a period.
Was there a gap? I mean, this is something we need to know. So obviously you know something.
No, there wasn't a
about
gap, no.
No, it's not your age, Jim.
Where you? This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. And I know people will have
He was a child
so much to
prodigy,
share.
did that.
1959 until about 72.
Goodness me.
So I can colour you.
Fantastic. Well, this is exactly what we need, because obviously I've learned a lot about it.
Your jazz events on Sundays, that's considered to be one of the country's longest running jazz.
36 years.
Yeah, that's Pete Corrigan, isn't it?
Yeah, Pete.
And I was there the day it opened.
Well,
Were you
I can
really?
believe that.
We had the catering franchise downstairs,
Yeah.
and he originally started downstairs in the pit bar. And within a few weeks it got so big they couldn't handle it down there, and he went upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a foyer festival at the beginning of this year because we had to have works done on our safety curtain, and it had to be closed down. So we put all the entertainment in the foyer, and that's part of my job, is to put the entertainment in the foyer. Well, I mean, I'm used to doing sort of 5 days every 5 to 6 weeks, and that's what I book. So I'll book some jazz, or I'll book some musical night. I sing in those as well. And I'll book some spoken word. I'll make sure our education department, the kids get to go on stage. So I do all of that. And they said, while it's closed for 4 weeks, we think we'll have something in the foyer. And I'm like, 4 weeks? I've got to put 4 weeks worth of entertainment. Anyway, we did do it, and it was brilliant. I loved every minute. But we launched it with Pete's Jazz. We launched the first day with Pete Corrigan's band.
He's had
Hope.
many good names there. You could get some of them back to support, I'm sure.
That would be a very good idea. We intend, and we've tried to think about a legacy for the next project. What would we like to do, whether it be a DVD or a book? And maybe get some endorsements and some quotes from famous people that have been through the theatre doors, whether
A lot
it's
of them
jazz.
would do
You
that.
said you were only going to do the era from 53 this time?
We're going to do 1931 to 53 for when it opens. We're going to explore why
Doing that,
there was a a need for it. But they will go through, obviously, with some...
So what are you actually asking of the people? Just their reminiscences or what?
Reminiscences for the oral histories, yes, definitely. And then those will go into form the play. In the same way this did, really, because that was basically Dave Ross's life. It was quite interesting, actually. Very brave of him to do that.
I wrote an article that went in the local paper, which was the one day in the life of a 14-year-old schoolboy during the war. And something like that might be good.
Absolutely, it would be.
She wants the Second World War.
He was fighting with the Japanese.
We'll also be working with Hayward Museum, so they'll be doing some of the oral histories as well. So anyone that's involved in the museum will be involved with us as well, so we're going to do it with them. So we've got lots of partners on the project, lots of people that would like to be part of what we're doing, so I really, really hope you do. Any more questions?
Well, I haven't got a question actually, I was just going to tell you a short story if I
Oh,
may.
lovely.
I took my children to see the opening show at the Queen's, the new one, which was Joseph and the Amazing Talent.
Wow, yes.
And the star of that show was Patrick Reichardt,
Yes.
if I remember. My 3-year-old youngest son danced in the aisles. He had the record when he went home and knew the whole show by the time he was 5. He played the lead in the school at the Bell here when he was 11 and produced or helped produce the show with Annie Jones in London on the 30th anniversary of that show.
Gosh.
But he is now, or has just been up to the Edinburgh Festival where he's production manager, and he said the producer of that show is Patrick Reichardt. And he said, I didn't have the heart to tell him I saw him when I was 3.
That's fantastic. Well, doesn't that just show how someone at that age has shaped someone's life? And it's not all about being on stage and sort of, you know, throwing yourself out there. It's about the people that make it happen. And I think that's an amazing story because that just shows you how it does touch everyone's life. It's not all about being light-hearted. It's actually about being part of a community. So thank you. Any more?
Any more questions? No, I seem to have done it. So, Brian, can I?
Very good. Alan.
You can do it. Absolutely superb. There's one thing to sing. I love to hear you singing. That would be delightful. Never mind, we'll forgive you this time. Well, Katie, that was a very inspiring talk. I'm glad that the Queen's bringing in the community, etc. Because that is a focal point of living in a small community. So that's excellent. Thank you very much. Most inspiring, most enjoyable, and giving us a great deal of things to think about. Thank you very much, Katie. And can we thank you so much?
So I'd like to thank all our guests for turning up today. I hope you've had a good lunch and enjoyed our talk. And